YSL Woody has just completely crashed out after Young Thug officially fired him from YSL. Yes, you heard that right. After everything that's gone down, after all the snitching, interviews, and heated drama, it looks like the final straw has finally been pulled. The man who once stood next to Thugger as one of his own has now found himself completely cut off from the empire he helped build, and it's got the entire hip-hop world buzzing. Because the truth is, this situation didn't just explode overnight. It's been building up for years, behind closed doors, in interviews, and in whispers coming out of Atlanta's underground. And now, it's all unraveling right before our eyes. It all started when YSL Woody decided to sit down for that now infamous interview, the one that shook the internet to its core, the one where he didn't hold anything back. In that shocking confession, Woody admitted that he snitched on Young Thug because he was annoying and he needed to get rid of him. The moment those words left his mouth, the entire hip-hop world froze. Fans couldn't believe what they were hearing. Even Thug's loyalists, the ones who've been holding on tight to the YSL RICO case, were left speechless. Because to them, loyalty wasn't just a word. It was a foundation of everything Thug built. Please do not forget to like this video. Share and subscribe to this channel if you want more updates like this. Thank you. Now, let's get back into the video. From the beginning, YSL wasn't just a label. It was a family, a brotherhood, a lifestyle. It was the streets, the music, the movement. Young Thug built YSL from nothing, turning it into one of the most powerful collectives in modern rap. And for years, YSL Woody was seen as one of those day one soldiers. He wasn't just around, he was part of the DNA. But somewhere along the line, something changed. Somewhere, loyalty turned into resentment. Somewhere, the bond broke. And that break was what led Woody straight down the path to self-destruction. When Thug heard about Woody's words, when that clip started spreading across blogs, Reddit, and every hip-hop page imaginable, the reaction was pure disbelief. People close to Thug said he was silent for a moment, just staring at the screen as if he couldn't believe it was real. The man he once trusted had openly admitted to betraying him. Not for survival, not for money, but out of annoyance. That single reason, he was annoying, hit differently. It wasn't just disrespect. It was humiliation. It was personal. And that's when things started shifting behind the scenes. YSL insiders started noticing something. Woody's calls weren't being answered. The team started distancing themselves. His name was quietly removed from a few upcoming projects. Producers who used to work with him suddenly had no time. He was being erased, slowly, surgically. And then came the final hit, the word that spread through Atlanta like wildfire. Thug fired Woody, just like that. The man who once had YSL in his bio, the man who used to shout slat in every video, was now officially done. And the word fired wasn't just a metaphor, it meant banished. Thug didn't want him anywhere near the movement. He wanted nothing to do with him. For Thug, it wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about cleansing the circle, protecting the brand, and making sure that loyalty, real loyalty, was all that remained standing. But here's where it gets darker. After being dropped, Woody spiraled. Witnesses started claiming that he'd been seen looking rough. Out late at night, surrounded by questionable people who didn't have his best interests at heart. He was losing it. The fame, the attention, the status, all of it vanished overnight. And without YSL, Woody didn't have an anchor. He was drifting. Insiders close to the situation said Woody tried reaching out. He sent messages, made calls, even tried to speak to people still connected to Thug. But nobody responded. The bridge was gone. He'd burned it himself. And that realization, that he'd gone from being a part of one of hip-hop's most powerful movements to being completely alone, was too heavy for him to carry. That's when people started saying Woody had officially crashed out. In the streets, when someone crashes out, it means they've lost everything: control, logic, direction. They move reckless, angry, desperate. And that's exactly what Woody started doing. Social media posts turned erratic. One moment he'd be calm, posting cryptic captions like, "Everybody fake," and the next he'd go live ranting about how nobody ever cared. His followers watched in real time as a man who once had it all began unraveling before their eyes. Then came the reports of altercations. A few club incidents here and there. Rumors that Woody had gotten into it with someone who mentioned Thug's name. Some said he couldn't take the jokes anymore, that the internet mocking him as YSL's weakest link was eating him alive. Others believed it was guilt, the realization that his own words had destroyed the very legacy he once helped protect. Because let's be honest, in this game, loyalty is everything. And once you break that code, there's no coming back. The streets don't forgive betrayal, and the industry has a long memory. That interview wasn't just a mistake. It was a confession that ended his career, his respect, and his connection to everything that gave him purpose. But even deeper than that, Woody's fall shows something that's been happening all over the industry. The idea that loyalty and fame can't coexist for long. We've seen it before. People chasing clout over code, trading brotherhood for buzz. And in Woody's case, it backfired completely, because after the clout faded, all that was left was silence. Meanwhile, young Thug stayed quiet. He didn't respond online, didn't throw shots, didn't even hint at it in music. But people close to him said that silence was louder than any diss track could ever be. Thug's energy shifted. Focus, calm, unbothered. He knew cutting Woody off was necessary. For Thug, loyalty isn't something you talk about. It's something you live. And when someone breaks it, they've made their choice. As Woody continued spiraling, fans started debating online. Was Thug too harsh? Did Woody deserve another chance? Some argued that Woody's interview was just inventing, maybe even joking. But most fans weren't buying it, because the tone in that interview was too casual, too cold. You don't joke about snitching on a man facing RICO. Not when that man gave you a platform, a name, and a chance. By the time weeks passed, it became clear Woody had crossed a line he could never walk back from. YSL members unfollowed him, and even the ones who didn't make sure they never mentioned his name. It was like he'd been erased from YSL history altogether. And when fans scrolled through his old posts, the comments were brutal. Snakes, rats, betrayal emojis everywhere. People who once cheered for him were now laughing at him. And that's the craziest part about this whole thing, how quickly it all changed. One moment Woody was part of one of the biggest movements in Atlanta. The next, he was the example everyone else learned from. His name became a warning. Every up-and-coming artist in Atlanta started watching his story, realizing what happens when loyalty takes a backseat to ego. Now, rumors are starting to spread that Woody's trying to rebuild himself. Some say he's been in the studio, working on new music, trying to tell his side.